House Democrats announced that they would be introducing the Respect for Marriage bill in Congress today.
This is simply a matter of Congress catching up with where state after state and where the country and where our society is going towards fairness and equality before the law for all. Thank you.
Edie Windsor of New York, who is currently suing the federal government for not recognizing her marriage, shared her incredible story of how DOMA has affected her life.
Okay, I'm Edie Windsor, and I'm here as a person whose life has been adversely impacted by DOMA, as have the lives of so many others. My late spouse, Thea Spire, and I lived together and loved each other for more than 4 decades. We began dating in 1965, became engaged in 67 with this diamond brooch, and stayed engaged for 40 years, in love with and caring for each other, sharing all the joys and sorrows that came our way. During those times, as any couple does, we lived through good times, each with jobs that we loved, great friends, and dancing. God, we danced. And we also lived through the vicissitudes of aging and illness. In 1977, Thea was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, the progressive type. First 1 cane, then 2 crutches, wheelchairs, and the last year's quadriplegia. We felt lucky that MS didn't affect her brilliant mind or her cognition. 1996, I had emergency coronary bypass surgery. Then in 2002, Thea's aortic stenosis. And still we lived and enjoyed our life together, and still we danced. In 2007, Thea had a year to live prognosis, and we realized we were running out of time and decided to marry immediately. In those 40-some years, we never thought of ourselves as single. So what could be different? It didn't occur to us that people would see us differently as a legally married couple, but they did. When our wedding announcement ran in the New York Times, we heard from literally hundreds of people from every stage in our lives, playmates and schoolmates, colleagues, friends, and relatives, all pouring out love and congratulations because we were married. Marriage, as you all know, is an institution that means so much to so many. It represents the ultimate expression of love and commitment between 2 people. And everyone understands that. In the whole world, everyone understands that. When my beautiful, sparkling Thea died 2 years ago, I was overcome with grief. Within a month, I was hospitalized with a heart attack. In the midst of this, I had to spend countless hours defending our marriage to the federal government. Because of DOMA, I was forced to pay $363,000 in federal estate tax that I would not have had to pay had I been married to a man, even if I had met the man and married the man 2 days before he died. While New York State considered us married, the federal government taxed what I had inherited from Thea as though we were strangers. I'm 81 years old and live on a fixed income, and paying that tax was not easy for me. Because of my overwhelming sense of unfairness and injustice, I decided to bring a lawsuit in federal court in New York challenging DOMA as unconstitutional and seeking the return of that tax that I was forced to pay as a result of DOMA. DOMA, as we've all referred to it, the so-called Defense of Marriage Act, excludes same-sex couples from fully participating in marriage, and that is unfair. And it excludes gay people from the ability to protect their spouse when one of them dies, and that is unfair. All marriages should be treated equally in the eyes of the law. President Obama and the Department of Justice recently agreed with the merits of my lawsuit and announced that they would no longer defend the constitutionality of DOMA. House Speaker Boehner, however, disagrees and has said he will retain counsel to defend it. So it looks like right now my legal fight is far from over. But hearing the people in this room and knowing what's being introduced today, I think our chances for the defeat of DOMA are more and more possible, and it's thrilling to be here and to meet all these heroes. Thank you.
Reporting from Capitol Hill, this is Steve Fox with Washington Blade.